Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Pillar English. I'm Emily, and I'm really glad you're here today. If you are learning English and want to talk more confidently about your life, this episode is perfect for you. Let me ask you something simple. Do you have a goal? A goal is something you want to achieve in the future. It can be big or small. It can be about your studies, your job, your health, or even your happiness. Maybe your goal is to speak English better. Maybe you want to get a new job. Maybe you want to wake up earlier or save more money. Personal goals are a very common topic in daily conversations. People talk about goals with friends, family, teachers, and coworkers. When you can talk about your goals in English, you sound more confident and motivated. Today, we will practice talking about personal goals in simple English. This episode is made especially for beginners. I will use easy words, short sentences, and clear examples. You don't need perfect grammar. You just need to listen and try. In this episode, you will learn what personal goals are, how people talk about goals in public, how to ask and answer questions about goals, how to talk about goals in social situations, and how to end conversations in a positive way. Think of this podcast as a friendly chat, not a lesson you must pass. You can pause, repeat, and practice anytime. Take a deep breath, relax, and let's start talking about personal goals together. Now, let's talk about personal goals in a public way. A personal goal is something you want to do or become in the future. People often talk about goals when they talk about plans, dreams, or self-improvement. Here are some common personal goals: learning English, getting better grades, finding a good job, staying healthy, and saving money. In public situations, people usually talk about goals politely and positively. For example, someone may say, "My goal is to improve my English. I want to be more confident at work. I'm working toward a healthier lifestyle." Notice the words "my goal is," "I want to," "I'm working toward." These phrases are simple and very useful. People also talk about goals in general. Many people have goals for the new year. Setting goals helps you stay focused. Small goals are easier to achieve. When speaking in public, it's okay to keep your goals simple. You don't need to explain everything. For example, "I want to learn English better." That sentence is clear and strong. Talking about goals shows motivation. It tells others that you care about your future. Remember, goals don't have to be perfect. They can change over time. Speaking about them in English helps you practice the language and express yourself clearly. Public talk about goals is not about showing off. It's about sharing your direction in life. Now, let's practice questions and answers about personal goals. Here are some common questions people ask. What are your goals? What is your main goal right now? What do you want to achieve? Simple answers are best for beginners. For example, question: what is your goal? Answer: my goal is to improve my English. Question: why is that important to you? Answer: because I want better opportunities. Another example. Question: do you have short-term goals? Answer: yes, I do. My short-term goal is to practice every day. You can also talk about long-term goals. My long-term goal is to get a good job. Useful phrases you can use: I'm working on it. I'm still learning. I want to improve step by step. If you are not sure about your goals, you can say, I'm still thinking about it. I haven't decided yet. Asking questions is important too. What about you? What is your goal? How do you plan to do it? These questions help keep the conversation going. Don't worry about mistakes. Focus on sharing your ideas clearly. Practice makes everything easier. Personal goals often come up in social interactions. Friends may talk about goals in a casual way. I want to travel more. I want to learn a new skill. You can respond with, That's great. Good luck. I hope you achieve it. With family, conversations about goals are usually supportive. What do you want to do in the future? You should follow your dreams. You can answer, I'm trying my best. I'm taking small steps. At school or work, people talk about goals more seriously. My goal is to improve my performance. I want to grow in my career. These sentences sound polite and professional. When talking about goals in social situations, it's important to be respectful. Everyone has different dreams. Avoid judging goals. Instead of saying, That's too hard, say, That sounds challenging. I hope it works out for you. You can also encourage others. You can do it. Keep going. Talking about goals helps people connect. It shows hope, effort, and direction. These conversations make relationships stronger. We've reached the end of today's episode. Today, we learned how to talk about personal goals in English. We practiced simple sentences, common questions, and natural answers. We also learned how to talk about goals politely in public and social situations. Goals help guide our lives. Talking about them in English helps improve both your confidence and your communication skills. Remember, your goal doesn't need to be big. Even small goals matter. Here's a simple practice for you today. Say one sentence in English about your goal. For example, my goal is to speak English confidently. My goal is to improve my daily habits. Say it out loud if you can. If you enjoyed this episode, keep listening to Pillar English and practice a little every day. Learning English is a journey, and you are making progress, even if it feels slow. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I'm Emily, and this is Pillar English. See you in the next episode. Keep learning, keep growing, and believe in your goals.